Good morning. Thank you all for coming. I'm Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas. That's RONTHOMAS, and I'm here to provide initial briefing on a critical incident that happened here at roughly 4 o'clock this morning at 26th and Zuni. What I understand at this time is that there was an on-duty officer who was parked here in front of the hotel, seated in his vehicle. An individual walked past the officer in the vehicle into the hotel. Moments later, exited the vehicle. The officer saw him draw a weapon and begin firing shots through the passenger window. The officer was struck multiple times. However, he was able to exit the vehicle on the driver's side, seek cover, and then begin returning fire. There was then an exchange of gunfire between the suspect and the officer. The officer continued to fire until the suspect went down. He aired that he had been involved in a shooting. Officers began arriving on scene and discovered the officer and the suspect down. Both individuals were transported to Denver Health Medical Emergence. Thankfully, the officer is in stable condition, non-life-threatening wounds. All of the rounds apparently were stopped by the bulletproof vest that he was wearing. Unfortunately, the suspect was ultimately pronounced deceased. So at this time, we have investigators from the Denver Police Homicide Unit, Colorado State Patrol, and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation who are conducting a joint investigation. They will conduct this investigation under the oversight of the Office of the Independent Monitor, and the results of that investigation will be turned over to the Denver District Attorney for their review.
You said the officer is stable. What's his actual condition?
So he is actually just fine. He's recovering at the hospital with his family by his side. I've talked to him. He is in some significant discomfort. However, the bulletproof vest that he was wearing did stop all 3 rounds that struck him from penetrating into his body.
So where was he struck at?
I believe he was struck once in the front part of his body and twice in the back.
So his chest?
Correct.
So what's his chest and 2 times his back?
Correct.
How long has he been with the department?
I believe 10 to 15 years. So he's a veteran officer.
Are those 2 bullet holes that are in a police car? Those bullet holes in the police car was in there's a broken glass as well?
Yes. So the suspect fired at the officer a number of times, both from the passenger side and then coming around to the driver's side.
Just for clarification, I think you may have said that the suspect exited the vehicle before shooting at the officer. He exited the hotel, correct?
He exited the hotel, I'm sorry, yes. So he entered the hotel, I think made some inquiry at the front desk, and then exited the hotel. And as he exited the hotel, the officer observed him draw a weapon and begin firing.
Do we know if the suspect was staying in the hotel?
That's unknown at this time. I think initial inquiries suggest that he made inquiry about staying here at the hotel.
Do we know why he started firing at the officer?
No reason at this time.
I see investigators are focusing their search right over there by that big tree. Did something happen there? Is that where?
That is where the suspect ultimately went down and was contacted there.
So it sounds like there was no words ever exchanged between.
I don't believe so.
Are there any cameras or anything in front of the lobby of the hotel? Is there anything that's in there?
So we have investigators that have identified that there are a number of cameras both inside and outside of the hotel, and we're recovering that video now.
People that we spoke with here in this area said they really weren't surprised to hear a lot of gunshots going off and to hear violence playing out in this area. Do you have any response to that?
Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of guns in our society here in Denver, and so unfortunately there are neighborhoods in which gunfire is a common occurrence.
And where did that initial shooting take place?
So if you see the patrol car that is parked right there in the front of the hotel, that is the patrol car the officer was sitting in. And so the initial shots were fired at the officer from the front door of the hotel into the passenger side of his vehicle.
And then one quick question, because this is a major intersection, Speer near I-25. How long will this road be closed off for?
I think we'll probably be closed down here for a couple more hours while the investigators continue their work.
I'm confused. Was there a confrontation? Was They
Absolutely
just
not.
walk out, the police car right there, just walk
Yeah.
out and start
Yes.
shooting
Yeah.
at him.
So there was no verbal exchange, no contact at all. The officer did observe him as he walked past his vehicle into the hotel, and then continued to watch him as he exited. But there was no exchange, no confrontation whatsoever.
So just make sure the suspect just walked inside the hotel, ran out, or just started shooting from inside the hotel right at the officer.
Entered the hotel, was in the hotel for a few moments, exited the hotel walking, and stood outside of the passenger side of the vehicle and began firing shots.
How does the department grapple with something like this?
Well, I think the important thing to say is that we are certainly thankful that we still have one of our officers. But I think we recognize that we face these challenges every day, and I'm proud of the men and women that put on this badge and uniform, knowing that they confront these things every day.
I want to take a moment because it looks like you've already talked to him. You look very emotional. You had a chance to talk to him, and even as you described, somebody could be on your force, just sitting in their car, doing their job, and to be attacked. As you being the chief of police, how do you grapple with it?
Well, again, we all recognize that we face those challenges every day. We take this job to support and protect our community, and so we're proud to do that job. And I'm proud of that officer who acted very quickly, and I think probably protected this community from a very dangerous individual.
What message would you have for other officers that are under your leadership?
I think the first message would be that continue to wear your bulletproof vest. I think it saved this officer's life. I think that he would say the very same thing. And again, I think that a credit to this officer, he was very attentive in keeping his eye on this individual that had crossed his path. And I think that he was able to prepare himself to encounter and engage that individual.
And it was a man who was a suspect.
Adult male, yes. Thanks.